This is Valid Audio Story. Real people, real stories.
My name is Priscilla Lekerson, and I'm here to share my story. My escape from rape. Few weeks after I went for my IT placement in a well-known brewery, I got a call telling me that I've been accepted to start up. I was still writing my second semester exam. So I told the caller that I was writing exams, and he said no problem, that the company would still call me officially. That was my first encounter with Mr. Madu, not his real name. To cut the long story short, I later met him in person few months after I started. He was working in the packaging department. He started telling me how he loves me and asked we date, which I refused. Still, we didn't stop talking. So 2 years later, as I was waiting for my NYSC, and he called me. I told him I'm just at home doing nothing, that I need a part-time work in the brewery that I can do for the meantime. He told me we need to see, but it would be in his house, and I kicked it off immediately, telling him to get a fast food or a sit-out. He agreed, and on that agreed date, he came to the street nearby, and I went there to meet him. I told my siblings and my mom where I was going. He carried me in his car, and he parked few minutes later, saying he wants to buy some things at the nearby market, and he would drop the stuffs at his house. Then we will go. And I agreed to. Luckily for him, it started raining heavily. And getting to his house, he pleaded I help him carry some things upstairs. And ignorantly and foolishly, I did. And entering there, all doors were locked. I didn't even bother because I had this notion that I don't hurt people, so no one can hurt me. He brought a drink and food. I ate and drank, and the next thing, he increased the music and now wanted to start touching me. And I cautioned him immediately. He was still persistent when I carried my handbag and stood up and was heading towards the door. I just felt his big hand on my neck dragging me back. I fought with all my strength, but he overpowered me and pushed me into the room. I landed with my head. He still had his hand on my neck. My eyes were turning and I urinated on myself. I was breathless, and when he noticed, he let go of my neck. Still trying to catch my breath, he commanded I climb the bed and pull off every cloth on my body. I started shouting, "Somebody help me! Somebody help me!" Oh. He laughed and said, "If you like, shout till tomorrow. Nobody will hear you." And he was right. Nobody can hear me. All thanks to the loud music and the heavy rain. He even threatened to kill me if I continued being stubborn. I begged and told him that I want to use the toilet. He dragged me up and followed me to the toilet. He was kissing my whole body, asking what the problem was, with the devilish smile on his lips. I kept begging, telling him to take me to the parlor so I can explain everything to him. He just dragged me up from the toilet and pushed me back into the bed while pointing at the floor, complaining how I have messed up his house, and he left to get a rag. Then I have been praying inside of me this simple prayer: God help me. And in a split of seconds, I remember the story of how a girl got an asthmatic attack when an armed robber wanted to rape her, and she was saved. My own attack came on me. I rolled from the highly raised bed straight to the floor and started convulsing. Coming into the room and seeing my condition, he carried me to the parlor. I was whispering, Pour water on me. Please don't allow me to die here. Take me to the hospital. I fell again at the parlor. He ran inside the room and brought out the keys from where he hid it. Opened the first iron door and then the second iron door, which was the entrance door. He rushed inside to get his car key. Immediately, I took my bag from where he flinged it and wore my sandals. I was still screaming while jumping down the staircase. Immediately I reached this downstairs. I picked Trace, and that was how God saved me. My neck was reddish and so painful. I narrated everything to my mom and my siblings, but I didn't tell my dad because I feared he would blame me for going to a man's house. I'm telling this story because I want young people to learn from my mistakes. You might not be lucky as I was. Thank you for listening.
If you have compelling stories, like the one you just listened to, we'll be happy to hear from you. Just like our page and comment below. Thank you.